Our story begins with a man named Abraham. Living in the ancient city of Ur, Abraham heard a voice that changed everything. God called him to leave his homeland, promising to make him the father of a great nation, a people that would one day be known as Israel. In a special covenant, God promised Abraham descendants as countless as the stars and a land for his people to call home. This covenant would be the foundation for the story of Israel. Abraham's grandson, Jacob, later known as Israel, became the father of the 12 tribes made from Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph, and Benjamin. Through his life of struggle, encounters with God, and eventual transformation, Jacob laid the foundation for the nation. One of Jacob's sons, Joseph, was sold into slavery by his brothers, but rose to a position of power in Egypt. He helped save his family from famine, setting the stage for Israel's time in Egypt. Generations later, the descendants of Jacob, now known as Israelites, had grown into a large nation, but they had become slaves under Pharaoh, crying out to God for deliverance. God chose a man named Moses to lead Israel out of Egypt. Appearing to him in a burning bush, God called Moses to confront Pharaoh and free his people. When Pharaoh refused to let the Israelites go, God sent 10 plagues upon Egypt, each one revealing his power and pressing Pharaoh to release his people. Finally, after the Passover night, Pharaoh let the Israelites go. They left Egypt with joy, starting a journey toward the land God had promised them. God performed a miracle, parting the Red Sea so his people could cross safely. It was a powerful sign that God was with Israel, guiding them on their journey. At Mount Sinai, God gave Moses the 10 Commandments, establishing a moral foundation and setting Israel apart as his chosen people. Though free from Egypt, Israel struggled with doubt and disobedience, causing them to wander the desert for 40 years before entering the Promised Land. Under Joshua's leadership, Israel finally crossed the Jordan River and entered the Promised Land, a land flowing with milk and honey. In the Promised Land, Israel struggled with cycles of faithfulness and rebellion. God raised up judges like Deborah and Gideon to lead and guide them. Israel longed for a king, and God gave them Saul. However, Saul's reign revealed that leadership without true faithfulness would not last. Young David, a shepherd boy with a heart after God, defeated the giant Goliath with just a sling and a stone, showing Israel the power of faith. David became Israel's most beloved king, uniting the nation and establishing Jerusalem as its capital, a city that would become central to faith. David's son Solomon built a magnificent temple in Jerusalem where God's presence dwelt, becoming the heart of worship for Israel. After Solomon's death, Israel divided into 2 kingdoms, Israel in the north and Judah in the south. It was a period of turmoil and conflict. Throughout Israel's history, prophets like Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Ezekiel warned the people to turn back to God, foretelling both judgment and hope. Both kingdoms faced exile, but God's promise remained. He brought a remnant back to Jerusalem, and they rebuilt their temple and city, renewing their covenant with Him. Through generations, Israel has been a story of faith, resilience, and God's enduring promises, a legacy that continues to inspire people around the world. Throughout the history of Israel, we see a pattern. God's people turning away, facing hardship, crying out to Him, and experiencing His mercy. Israel's story reminds us of God's unwavering faithfulness and His call for us to return to Him. Just as He delivered Israel from slavery, guided them through the wilderness, and restored them after they strayed, God is ready to do the same for us. Today, God is calling us back. He's inviting us to leave behind the distractions and idols of our lives and turn our hearts fully toward Him. Whether it's fear, doubt, or sin that has kept you distant, His arms are open wide, ready to embrace you with love and forgiveness. Let's reflect on the story of Israel. God parted the Red Sea, rained manna from heaven, and gave them a land flowing with milk and honey. He didn't abandon them, even when they doubted or rebelled. That same God is reaching out to you today. Will you answer His call? Will you step forward and declare, "Here I am, Lord, I am yours"? Like Israel, we can experience renewal and restoration when we repent and place our trust in Him. He is ready to guide you, heal you, and make you whole. Come to Him today. Produced by Anita Ayez. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share.